Hey Alpha fam, welcome back to another episode of Alpha Commission. Today I wanted to quickly go over the Grayscale Bitcoin Trust chart, a Alpha fam favorite over here. Of course, we've been following it because the smart money trades using Grayscale Bitcoin Trust. All right, this means there's just a higher concentration of billionaires and institutions, this type of professional big money in Grayscale, rather than on the regular exchanges, which is the regular money, because you can actually get a pretty good discount on the trust. It's a little bit easier for institutions to use, a little bit more secure. The only consequence is that you have certain limitations on your account, like for when you can withdraw, different things like that. And so it's primarily for these big institutions. And the interesting thing is it's supposed to trade exactly the same as Bitcoin. And if we look at the chart, it looks pretty similar to Bitcoin. But what's the difference? They had a lower high, whereas the regular Bitcoin chart had a higher high. So the smart money knew something was bearish in the market. We've gone over this a couple times, so I'm just following up. Just going to do a quick 5-minute review of the Grayscale Bitcoin Trust, and I promise this time I'll stick to the time limit. So we've been looking at this fractal, and what we noticed is that this has been playing out. This kind of fractal played out here. This type of this type of drop, where you drop the whole length of the channel, it played out here and it played out here. And then also there's these measured moves where there's like this head and shoulders, and that head and shoulders, we expected it to play out, and it's almost played out. We got all the way to right here. And so I had this buy zone set out. Well, you know what? We got right here. We got right here in the price. So that's pretty good, okay? If we take a look at the price, we wicked all the way down right to this corner. And, we can just move this up because the market, I guess, was a little bit bullish and willing to buy in a little bit higher. Now, does this mean that this head and shoulders is done playing out? I don't know, because to be honest, this is a multi-month formation, and that means it could take a couple months to play out this drop. We already saw like 1, 2 months. Are we going to have a drop down here still? Maybe, maybe. But for now, we're not really talking about that because we've done something interesting on this chart, which is the reason why I brought you here today, is look at this. For the first time for real, we've broken out on the Bitcoin, on the Grayscale Bitcoin Trust, okay? Look, we've broken through the channel. This is another difference with the regular Bitcoin compared to the Grayscale Bitcoin Trust. The Grayscale Bitcoin Trust had never broken out before. And I'm using this fractal. This is just a fractal of this run right here. Okay, just a miniaturized version of it. And I'm using that fractal because, well, just to project. Because if this top was very similar to this top, and if this descent was very similar in structure to this descent, and if these type of measured moves are similar to this type of measured move, it's just there's a couple of them, then perhaps the recovery will be also similar, right? And one thing that I pointed out in a previous episode was that this fractal predicted a drop to this point. So you see how I have a buy box here? Hey, look, we dropped exactly to that level. Now, we dropped early. We dropped early because this was the Russia invasion of Ukraine. So I think we might have been on a time scale where we were playing out this fractal. It had been working pretty good. Chop, chop, chop. Looked like it was going to chop down, right? You got this kind of like choppy area in here. It even had that little hump, but it did the wick. It wicked down sooner than this fractal would have expected, okay? So that doesn't mean that the fractal is invalidated because look at this. We also pumped just like we would have pumped here. And look at this. This is pretty extraordinary. The length of this pump is the same length as this fractal. That's interesting. That's very interesting. It's almost like the Russian war pushed us forward in this fractal. And so can I expect the rest of this to be moved forward a bit? Maybe, maybe. I can't use those old projected trend lines. Maybe it's going to be something like this, where we come back down, test this line, and then maybe we have a bullish retracement and go like that. I'm not sure yet. Just giving you an update on the Grayscale Bitcoin Trust and what I'm looking at and what I'm thinking about. Because if this doesn't hold, if we break back down under here and we don't hold that break of trend, maybe we are going to see that capitulation that was meant to play out. And maybe this was just a bullish reaction rally to this extremely bearish, uh, you know, drop in the market. Like maybe this is just a give and take of this one move, and maybe this fractal might still play out. I don't know. We can't really just trade on fractals. There's a whole lot that goes into this, including the stock market and everything. So I'll keep you updated. But I just wanted to point that out because we had been looking at another chart for Grayscale, this one, the professional chart, and we thought we broke out earlier, right? This is us right now. We thought we had broken out earlier, but it's just that this professional chart has so many holes in it, like we couldn't trade properly, and so that was very confusing. When we look at it on FTX, the FTX exchange, oh, it was really clear. We had never broken trend in the Grayscale market yet, but now we have. That's interesting. It's worth watching. Keep you posted. All right, that's your alpha for the day, and stay safe and happy trading.